Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Wahoos Weekly, your weekly in-depth look at the Pensacola Blue Wahoos, both on and off the field. I'm Blue Wahoos broadcaster Eric Bramer, and my guest this week is the Pensacola Sports Hall of Famer and Blue Wahoos senior writer and events coordinator, Bill Vallone. Bill, good to have you back.
Great to be here again. Thanks for having me on the program, and I think this has been a wonderful addition to our season.
Well, the Blue Wahoos this week are at home against the Knoxville Smokies, and I wanted to have you on because if anyone knows Knoxville in this organization, it's you, a former University of Tennessee graduate.
Long time ago, yes, I went to school at the University of Tennessee. That would have been years 1977 through 1981. It was fantastic 4 years there. But at the time, ironically, Knoxville had a double-A team called the Knoxville KJs. They were the Toronto Blue Jays affiliate. Their broadcaster, Tom Cheek, was from Pensacola, well known obviously in Pensacola, but became a Hall of Famer as a broadcaster. And Tom, lo and behold, helped spur the idea that when they were trying to get a new affiliation the Blue Jays were trying to get a new affiliation, they thought of Pensacola because of Tom. So lo and behold, I get back, I start working in Pensacola, and it gets out that the KJs were thinking about moving to Pensacola. All they needed, of course, was a stadium. Well, that proved to be an insurmountable task. I mean, it went up before it ever went up for a vote, I think it got shot down, so it never happened. But Tom Cheek, who was a Pensacola High grad, became a Hall of Fame broadcaster for the Toronto Blue Jays, had really pushed for Pensacola to be in a minor league team back then. But Knoxville had a rickety stadium downtown. No one really, I mean, they were supported in Knoxville, but baseball really didn't take off there until, in my opinion, the University of Tennessee got good. When I was a student there, Eric, Tennessee baseball was low rung in the SEC. And I mean, if there were 10 teams, they were 9 or 10. They were terrible. I mean, in fact, it was so bad that when my freshman year in 1977, they asked for tryouts for people that might want to walk on. And my roommate, who was from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, not far from my hometown, Pittsburgh, he tried out and made the team and played for them. So anyway, they were quite different than they are now. What happened, of course, was the SEC exploded in wealth, and every single sport in the SEC, besides football, grew and grew and grew to the point where, they were able to get a guy like Tony Vitello to be the manager. And my gosh, they're now one of the top teams in the country in baseball. So anyway, Knoxville then, as you know, lost their stadium, and it became the Tennessee Smokies, and the Tennessee Smokies went to a town called Kodak, Tennessee, 20 miles outside of Knoxville, not far from Pigeon Forge. But that's where the Tennessee Smokies played when the Blue Wahoos beat them for the championship in 2023. And then the chancellor of the University of Tennessee, a very, very successful businessman, was the owner of the Smokies, and he pushed to get a stadium in Knoxville. You have been there. I have not, but I've heard it's spectacular downtown. So all this is interconnected, and I think all back then how low it was, not only for minor league baseball, but college baseball in Knoxville, and now when I see it, it's just amazing the difference.
Well, the Blue Wahoos, the last two times they made the championship series, they faced off against the Smokies. In 2022, they won. In 2023, they lost. Seems like this year they might be on a collision course again because the Smokies were the first half North Division champions. And of course, the Blue Wahoos hope to have the second half South Division title. Wouldn't take too much for those two teams to face off again in late September.
Yeah, and of course, the Smokies being a Cubs affiliate, a lot of interest. I know it's a team that we have a good history with. And yeah, that would really be something. And I think, like I said, to me, it's so surreal to see it because I mean, when I was there as a student, granted, a long, long time ago, it was just so different.
Well, the Blue Wahoos are also looking forward to what comes after the season, which is fall baseball. And Florida State is kind of the headline act once again this year. Third straight year, the Seminoles have played at Blue Wahoo Stadium. But we also have a couple other additional games that are coming in October. You were on the event side, kind of helping behind the scenes to make this happen. You, of course, have a long-time connection to Florida State as a former reporter on the beat over there. But great to see this start so humble, but now grow into something that's going to take up 3 different weekends at Blue Wahoo Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, it all started with Pensacola Mayor D.C. Reeves, a Florida State graduate, really reaching out to Link Jarrett, the Tennessee baseball coach, saying, why don't you come here? Why don't you play a game here? And Link then suggested, hey, let's do a fall game. So that's how it happened. And Shannon Hanna, our great events manager, who I'm on her team, obviously, want to give her a shout out, but she then took that ball rolling, got to meet Link, and they started setting up that very first game with Auburn. And Link was able to get Auburn to become the opponent for that game. We put the tickets up on sale. They sold out in 12 hours. That game that day and 2 years ago, there was tailgating. There was an experience in front of the stadium that was like really special. And in the game itself, the whole day was special. Then that triggered the next year Mississippi State saying, hey, we want to come. Well, Mississippi State last year brings a ton of people. They've got a great fan base. They got a great baseball program. So they come and play. And then from that moment, Shannon has literally been fielding calls. Hey, we want to play. We want to play. That led to the Florida Gators, who haven't played in Blue Wahoo Stadium since 2013. And Florida's going to be bringing in at least 4 really talented Major League prospects that day. So that is going to be wonderful. We're going to have Georgia Tech playing Alabama. Georgia Tech was ranked number 1 in the country at one point during the 2025 season, 26 season. So that was amazing. So we're going to have Florida State playing Auburn again. Then we're going to have Alabama playing Georgia Tech, followed by the Florida Gators playing Troy. Troy, of course, made this fabulous run to the College World Series, first time in history. We really feel like these 3 games are going to be special, each one of them, great fan bases, and it's all really due to what happened the first year, and then Shannon really getting a relationship established with all these coaches and all these athletic directors for baseball to set this up, because it's not easy, and we're going to have really games every single weekend in October.
We're expecting to have high demand for those tickets. If they aren't sold out already, you can go to BlueWahoos.com and look at the ticket availability for those 3 college baseball games. Finally, Bill, our special guest this week is a fellow Pensacola Sports Hall of Famer and a longtime friend of yours, Paul Chestnut. We've seen Paul and his son Matthew around the stadium for years, and I know that you have a very special relationship with him. Great to see him recognized this September as we have a Paul and Maddie Chestnut bobblehead night at Blue Wahoo Stadium on September 11th.
Yeah, it's going to highlight special needs, and Paul is so passionate, and with good reason. You know, his son was born with a severe form of cerebral palsy, really never talked and couldn't walk. And what Paul has done for 21 years now, helping raise his son as pretty much a single parent, has been amazing. And you know, I've known Paul since he was a broadcaster for the Pensacola Ice Flyers in 1996. We have a special connection because he grew up in McKees Rocks, Pennsylvania, not far from Pittsburgh, where I'm from. So special connection there. But that's going to be a big night. Paul, I know, is thrilled to have the opportunity to showcase special needs and bring his son Matty and be honored with this bobblehead.
Our conversation with Paul Chestnut is coming up right after this on Wahoos Weekly.
At A1 Automotive, we do it all. All kinds of repairs for all kinds of vehicles. We do AC repairs, we do suspensions, we do pre-purchase inspections. We'll diagnose your problem and get it fixed. Free brake inspection. We can provide financing for any work we do. Veteran-owned, military, and first responders discounts. A1 Automotive, 403 Beverly Parkway, Pensacola.
Gilmarine, your one-stop shop for all your boating needs. We offer a vast selection of parts, accessories, and electronics. Discover our range of used boats in every size, shape, and brand, all ready to get you on the water today. and we provide expert advice and top-notch customer service to ensure you have the best boating experience. We service all outboard, inboards, stern drives, jet drives, and personal watercraft. Our certified staff will get you back on the water. Visit Gil Marine at 3541 West Fairfield Drive, Pensacola.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Nestled in the heart of Pensacola, Dorothy's is a one-of-a-kind, community-driven cocktail bar by Oasis, Florida, created to sustain vital HIV and STI care across the Florida Panhandle. Inspired by the Wizard of Oz, rooted in inclusion, and dripping with character, Dorothy's is a welcoming space with award-winning Oz-inspired cocktails, food by Steel Pony Diner, and an unmatched atmosphere. Join us 7 days a week in downtown Pensacola, located directly across from Maritime Park and the Blue Wahoos Stadium.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Wahoos Weekly. I'm Blue Wahoos broadcaster Eric Bramer, and our guest this week is the Pensacola Sports Hall of Famer and a mainstay of the Pensacola sports community, Paul Chestnut. Paul, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Eric. Appreciate it.
We've got a lot to talk about, but for those who don't know you, you've been around Pensacola covering hockey, baseball, pretty much all sports in this community for a long time. How did you first arrive here?
Wow, that was about 30 years ago. You just got to believe when hockey started here in Pensacola. I rolled the dice. Ice Pilots brought me down here, ECHL. I was fortunate enough to be a part of the ECHL when it started, first couple years in Erie, PA. So for $75 a game, threw the dice. I knew it was going to work. Wanted it to be a part of it. Pensacola called. They said, hey, do you want to be a part of it? And I said, yeah, and it was on just 2 broadcasts of the games, but heck, ended up being a fixture, started doing more things with the Ice Pilots, and it only took a couple months when they found that out because they knew I knew the league, the ECHL. So been here over 30 years.
Well, pretty humble beginnings, and really the arrival of the Ice Pilots sparked some growth in the professional sports scene. And then eventually, you see the Pensacola Ice Flyers and the Pensacola Blue Wahoos arrive. How much has Pensacola's sports community grown since you first began here?
It's grown a lot. I think with the stadium and the Blue Wahoos really took it to another level. I mean, when I was an employee there with the Ice Pilots, we had the Barracudas too, the arena football team that many people, some of the people still know. But when Quinn Studer came on in, I was there for some years with the Pensacola Pelicans on the campus of UWF. But when that stadium went in, and then Ice Pilots went dark for a year, Ice Flyers came in. You had both going, but that ballpark at Blue Wahoos ballpark just took everything to another level. Then you had renovations at the Bay Center with the video board, and boy, both organizations are thriving now.
Well, if you know Paul Chestnut, you probably know his son Matthew Chestnut, and Matthew is just with you pretty much wherever you go in a professional sense and also in your personal life. What's Matthew's story?
Well, when he was born, he's practically born, with, I always say like over the Bay Center, the anger, with the hockey and boy, he's got a passion for it as well. And he loves going to the Blue Wahoos games, but he has cerebral palsy. It's been like that since birth. And it changed everything for me, complexion on career and everything. When I first heard it, when he was just a little over 2 years old, and he stayed in a bouncy seat, wasn't moving out of it, and ended up with a little bit of a flat head because of that. And when I heard cerebral palsy for the first time, I went, whoa, doesn't walk or talk. Uh, it really changed everything, in my life, in my career, in perspective, and with them because, he means everything to me. And I'm just fortunate that he is a part of me as well, just about everywhere I go. Heck, we both went into the Pensacola Sports Hall of Fame together. We made a trip to the Tampa Bay Lightning. We were invited. We got to meet Sidney Crosby. We were on Pittsburgh Penguins TV together, Tampa Bay Lightning radio, intermission guests on NHL Network. I mean, it's been going and going and going. It's been thriving. SportsSpectrum.com. It's a national website where faith and sports celebrities come together. And, we started a little charity as soon as I heard cerebral palsy. That's what I wanted to do in the second phase of hockey in Pensacola because it's all about him. And the charity, Matthew Chestnut Scores Charities, we took the he shoots and scores, the goals that obviously when I was calling and put his name on it to help out other special needs organizations for kids and adults in the Northwest Florida area, mainly the Pensacola community.
You've done a lot of good in the Pensacola community for the special needs individuals who live here. A lot of work has yet to be done, but what kind of growth have you seen, either directly through the work of your charity or just with the progression of time and more understanding about the special needs community?
That's a passion of mine now. I'm really looking forward to the special needs night, at Blue Wahoos Stadium. Westgate is tremendous. Westgate is a school for kids that can go there, and it's the best facility for that age group, for kids, for high school kids. They have a snoozling room, and for anybody out there, it is the largest snoozling room in the entire country. And Maddie loved it at Westgate. We loved the people. We loved the teachers, the therapists, the principal there. Always looking forward to go to Westgate. But obviously, he outgrown it. That's one facility for special needs. Another one that he goes to is Pyramid. It's for special needs adults. And at first I was a little okay, isn't it? Because, it was something new, but man, boy, they do outstanding work. Corey Parker, she is the administrator there and runs it, and it's a blessing to have somebody from her. She's from Shreveport, Louisiana. From what I understand, she took the risk to come to Pensacola, got her calling, with her family, moved over, took over Pyramid, and she is one of the up-and-comer people. And she needs a lot more recognition in this community. I can't wait to get her to meet Quint over at the Blue Wahoos games because she's doing phenomenal things. It's kind of like a breath of fresh air to have her in the community and what they're doing over at Pyramid now for the special needs adults is what it is.
As you mentioned, your son Matthew cannot talk, but one of the things that is astounding for me is that you still understand him in a certain way, in a way that a lot of us just can't quite. So how do you understand what Matthew enjoys and how he reacts in his own way as you got to know him so well?
I'm his dad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, since birth, I know his reaction. I know how his moods are like, the facial expressions. It's just, when he's hungry, like, okay, I had enough at this place, or, it's just by being his dad, and for anybody who has a special need kid, they know what I'm talking about, that doesn't talk or walk. And it's just by being around him and just knowing his moods and his reaction.
You've said that he enjoys going to hockey games. I know based on me seeing him at baseball games that he enjoys that. What's his way of communicating in his own way that he's enjoying himself?
Well, first, the passion for hockey sits right next to me at the games now, and he's a fixture. When I was, you know, here and before he was born with the ice pilots, everybody used to come up to me. You know what I'm talking about. You get the same thing over at the Blue Walls. Okay, what's the scoop? Da da da. What's going on? And they always join me at the booth. Now it's different. Where's Maddie at? Where's Maddie? I'm just second nature swept aside. Where's he at? How's he? They look for him and talk to him, which is kind of heartwarming there. For Blue Wahoos, I encourage special needs kids to go on up, to get them out, get your kids out, the special needs, because for Matthew, it helped him social skills to be around Blue Wahoo Stadium. I always said this, that ballpark at Blue Wahoo Stadium, yeah, it's there for the players, and they use it obviously for their skills because they want to move up to the major leagues. But that ballpark has done more for my son, just being around and for his social skills than any player that suited up for the Blue Wahoos.
Well, an opportunity for members of the special needs community to come on out is going to be the final weekend of the regular season, Friday, September 11th. We are going to have a special needs night and a celebration of you and Maddie. Tell me about how that came to be.
You really want to know?
Sure.
Okay, I'm in the press box last year. Jonathan is there, bobbleheads. He goes, I don't know about the bobbleheads anymore. They could give. I say, you want one? I said, and I'd said it in an humble way, do a bobblehead of Maddie. Mm-hmm. And I said, just, hey, great idea. And I'll help you out with it. And I guess Quink got wind of it, and he loved it. And hey, I don't want this just to be the bobblehead, for Matthew and I, which we were extremely touched and humbled about. But I'm using the platform. I mean, the Blue Wahoo platform. Are you kidding me? We got an opportunity. We're gonna get community leaders down there. We're gonna have special needs kids, special needs adults. We're gonna have a parade. They're gonna be throwing out the first pitch. We're gonna be having, a lot of fun with it. As I said, community leaders. I was toured by my church, Cathedral Sacred Heart. We're hoping that, the bishop looks like, he's getting it, that target date set to be there. And we're adding on as we go. And then at the end, we're going to ask, and I know we'll have a time limit on it. In the end, we're going to ask anybody that's on the field to come around Maddie and myself, circle around, and we want the whole stadium to shout out, special needs strong, is what we want. So we want this to be, it's going to be full of energy, from the parade on. So I threw out, every time I see Jonathan, I'm there, we got this, what about this or that? So we're going to time some Christian music with it, and people are going to laugh, people are going to cry, people are going to be, it's going to be a moment probably that you haven't seen at a Blue Wahoos baseball game. For the special need people there, the community, yeah, they'll know what they're doing about. But for the average fan that's never been exposed to special needs, they're going to be going, whoa. It's going to be a little eye-opener for them.
Well, it's, again, going to be Friday, September 11th, and it's going to be a very meaningful night. And you've been in touch with us about the creation of the bobblehead. You submitted some photos and stuff, and for the first time, I want you to see what that bobblehead looks like. Are you ready for that?
Let's go.
All right, Bill, bring it out. It just arrived, and we're going to have these given out to our fans. It's going to be pretty special. I want you to open the box, all right? And I'll take the box so you can hold it up.
All right. Let's go. Well, this is awesome. How about that?
All right. Pretty cool, huh?
Maddie. Maddie's the man. There you go.
I think they did a pretty good job. It looks like
Yes.
you and it looks like Maddie.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome stuff.
All right,
Looking
so
forward to it.
if we've got viewers here who want to come, what are they going to see, and why should they make this a part of their summer as we wrap up the season at Blue Wahoo Stadium?
Well, it's the final Friday, so we've been waiting all summer. I mean, when you have a special need kid, I mean, Maddie and I are used to it because we're always last. We're either there first at a place because we got to find the handicap parking, or we're usually last, so we're used to it. But it's going to be a special event. I mean, people are going to be touched. The special needs community, we're the forgotten community. And we just thank the Blue Wahoos for this on Friday, September 11th, for this night. And we're going to be, like I said, we're going to laugh. People are going to cry. They're going to be, touched and moved. We got Pyramid's going to be singing they got a choir. The choir's going to be singing the national anthem. So everybody come on out. Friday, September 11th, last Friday of the regular season, special needs night. Maddie and I, we want to see you at that ball game. So thank you so much.
And finally, Paul, how can our viewers learn more about the Matthew Chestnut Scores charity?
Well, we'll be with the Ice Flyers. We'll be doing the Power Play Pledge Drive again. I mean, they usually see me out. We got a flyer that we do as well. It's a small charity, but we do the best that we can with it to help do our part going into these different areas to raise money for the special needs.
Well, Paul, thank you for your coverage of the Blue Wahoos for so many years. Thank you for all you do for the special needs community. And thanks for joining us here on Wahoos Weekly.
Go.
We'll see you next
Thank
week.
you.